he's not happy, mate.
Well, I think Connor was going like, nah.
You're good. Bit of fun, innit?
It's all good to throw jokes. It was just disrespectful to me, but also to Connor, especially when he's meant to be a friend.
I called it when I said that if Gabby's not careful, she's going to lose Jotham. Because Jotham looks like someone who doesn't like drama. And the fact that she lives and breeds drama and actually owns up to it, that she's used to highs and low lows, this is how she's going to lose him. Because it's the double standard for me. The fact that she is trying to sort of make him out to be the villain, I don't get it. And Isabel's mask, the longer she stays in the villa, the more it slips. It's time she goes home. She was at the center of the drama with the girls, and it seems she's about to start trouble with Mick. I feel like her drama with Mick is because Mick called him out for how they were treating the bombshells, and now she's trying to sort of make it out like Mick is the bad guy. He's not the bad guy. That challenge, everybody went all out, and everybody was making sarcastic remarks at the end of it when the sort of results were being announced. So for her to say that, Mick is disrespecting her partner, I am not buying it. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Mick fan. I really love him and his messiness. So I can't wait to see that fallout and how he's going to be unbothered. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by to go, Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 7, Episode 16. Finally, we're caught up. So tomorrow I'll be reviewing on time, with work allowing, obviously. Anyway, so you have Gabby and Jotham having this conversation about, oh, you're over flirty, you shouldn't have been giving sort of, Mia the green light. And it's like, madam, you did the same thing. You were giving the green light to Alex to pick you. So the idea that suddenly it's an issue because Jotham does exactly the same thing, I don't get it. And the fact that the girls are not helping one another and are supporting each other's nonsense, this is where her problem lies. Because unlike everybody else, she is in a couple with someone who has said he doesn't like drama, who left his previous partner because she was being over dramatic. And so for her to think this is a good look, I don't get it, and I really don't want it. Anyway, so you then had, after the chat, she stormed off, she went to the girls in the teepee, and Shan was saying that Jotham is trying to manipulate you. And it's like, Shan, you of all people should keep quiet. Because you were there, you were sitting right next to Gabby when she was flirting with Alex. So the idea that suddenly she's being called out or she's trying to call out somebody else on their mess doesn't make sense. You should have pulled her aside and said, remember what you said to Alex. How do you think Jotham will feel when he hears it? So for the girls to try and say, oh, he's manipulating you, I don't get it. What I love is Jotham then went and sat down for a chat. He sat down for a chat with Alex and sort of asked Alex, what was going on in your chats with Gabby? What did she say? Did she say anything inappropriate? And so while you were saying that, you had Yana turn up, and Alex said she was being flirty. She told me she was open to me picking her. So she was being flirty. One thing about Jotham is he's got this zen that I like, because he wasn't toxic. He wasn't shouting out. He wasn't saying anything. So you then had him sort of have Gabby walked up, and then he said to Gabby, it seems you and I were doing the same thing. We were saying similar things, and yet I am the problem. Yes, because you're lying to me. Yes, I'm the... Gabby then realized that she didn't have a leg to stand on. That's why she then pulled Jotham for a second chat. And she went there and was trying to sort of butter him up, and suddenly all the drama's finished. She's now making out with him. Oh, sit next to me. Sit. Because she was caught out for lying, that you did worse, and yet you're shouting at somebody else and making him the villain around the villa just because you want to explore Alex. If you want to explore Alex, do it openly. You don't need to hide. You don't need to label somebody else as the villain in your story. So I didn't like that. Anyway, the islanders were sort of just hanging around the villa, and the text message came into Shan. Islanders, the hideaway is open for business for one lucky couple, Yana and Kye. Please enjoy your night of privacy. Hashtag staycation, hashtag X-rated. And prior to that, you just had Yana say she's feeling horny. So I feel like production, because they gave the hideaway to Jotham and Gabby, and they didn't do anything inappropriate, we're looking for someone to do something inappropriate. So that's why they sent these two knuckleheads. Oh, they were excited. They were really excited. Yana was running around getting herself ready. For this genius to put the sock on and say, this is all I'm wearing, I didn't get it. I didn't get the appeal. I didn't get why Yana was excited and was saying, "This is my man, this is my man." She told us, she had told her parents that she wouldn't do anything inappropriate, or promised her mom. And yet, she went in and she went to town with this man. Production got what they wanted. I don't know how she'll feel once this relationship ends. You had obviously the narrator saying, the poor teddy bear is going to be traumatized. And it's like, why would you bring a teddy bear with somebody's mother's voice with you to the hideaway, knowing for a fact you're going to be inappropriate in the hideaway? Yes, she led everything. She gave him the green light and he just walked in. And I don't know how she thought this was appropriate. They should have sat down, had a conversation about their failed relationship, and then they moved on. It now starting to appear as though they planned this. They plan to come on the show and rekindle their love. Anyway, all the islanders get ready for the night, or you have the new couples, you have Shana sort of trying to, she wants a cake and she wants to eat it, in the sense that she doesn't want Ross to do anything, but she is happy to be giggly and giddy with Alex. So make it make sense. I don't get it. I think she wants to make sure she's secure in a couple first before Ross is allowed to do anything. Anyway, everybody goes to sleep. In the morning, the islanders wake up. Jotham is complaining. He's telling Kye that, I really feel drained because I don't like toxicity. I don't like the drama. And you had Yana come and say, the problem you're having is, to Gabby, it seems like a game. She's playing games. The way she was speaking to you, to her, it felt like a game, whereas you were emotional about the whole situation. The night before, Yana had actually said that Gabby sees this as a game, whereas Jotham, to him, it's a relationship or it's a connection that he's serious about. And I think because Yana has a lot of allegiance to Jotham, he's her big brother in the villa, so maybe this is why she was sticking up for him and sort of saying it's unacceptable. Jotham was saying, I'm conflicted. I don't know whether I want to continue with this because I hate toxicity. And it's like, yeah, I get where he's coming from. You can't want this constant up and down. We had Gabby in the sort of on the terrace with Alex, giggling and giddy and laughing and whatever. We didn't get to hear the conversation. I don't know whether she was ending things off with Alex or what exactly was going on there. I wish we had really found out what was going on. Anyway, Gabby then went and sat with Jotham and they were having a conversation about their connection. And he was saying he feels drained. He really does feel drained. He doesn't want the drama. He doesn't want the toxicity. That's not his cup of tea. He wants a relationship whereby they're able to talk and sort of reach an understanding. For Gabby to say, oh, so you want me to change? You want me? No, madam, that's not what he's saying. He's saying if you want to be with me, we need to have a peaceful relationship. We need to have open and honest conversations that are rational and reasonable, not for you just to be waffling just because you want to hear yourself speak. You had this conversation that I didn't understand. You had Shan in the teepee. She must have sent someone to call Ross. And so Ross came across and she was moaning, you didn't greet me this morning. You haven't spoken to me. You're not showing me any interest. You're making it seem as though we're over. And he's like, well, the problem is I am trying to juggle myself between the two of you. I want to make sure I get the strongest bond with the right person. And so I'm not going to sort of favor one person over another. At least he is doing 50-50. Unlike Jotham. Jotham, when he left his couple, he focused 100% on Gabby and wanted to see if that would work. The moment Ross does that, he and Shan are over, because I don't think with Shan they have that strong a bond. Shan was upset. I think she expected him to choose her and to apologize and whatever, and he wasn't, having it. Ross wasn't having it, so she stormed off. And then everybody came to try and soothe her. You had the likes of Isabel, Connor, and Yana sort of trying to comfort her, and she's saying, I don't want to talk about it, otherwise I'll cry. You'll cry about what? This man hasn't really liked you romantically from the start, so the idea that you're suddenly making it seem as though it's something new to you, I do not get it. You knew he didn't like you like that. You continue to pursue. You continue to ask for things he wasn't willing to give you. Give him a moment. Just say to him, I'm stepping back. I want you to fully explore your thing with Boston and see where it goes. And you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. He'll be ready to go to the hideaway within 24 hours because that's how strongly he feels about her. So you then had Boston and Alex sort of check on Ross because he was left in the teepee on his own. And they started having a conversation because Boston asked him, are you okay? Is everything okay? And he started saying, I'm conflicted because I have this connection with Shan. I really like her, and I've also got a connection with you. So I'm trying to see what's in my best interest, which is what everybody that goes on Love Island should do. You shouldn't be doing what's popular with the group, but you should do what's in your best interest. For Shan to send someone to listen in, and then for Yana to go and say, try not to bring Shan's name in this, that just made things worse. And I'm surprised there wasn't a three-way. I would have loved Ross to call Shan, sit her down with Boston and have a conversation with the two of them and explain to them where he stands. That way these girls don't continue to play with his head, because there's nothing there. I feel like he's more attracted to, Boston than he is to Shan, and sadly he wants to make sure he's making the right choice for himself, so he's not willing to close himself off. And so the idea that somebody else can't understand that, I don't get it. I don't understand why Shan is continuing to try and play herself as the victim. He did say he wished he was still in a couple with Shan, meaning that he hadn't fully opened to her. And that should say something to him. The fact that he's struggling to open up to her should tell him that maybe there is nothing there, and it's time for him to keep it stepping. He eventually came across Shan, had a conversation with her, and she was saying, you shouldn't be bringing up my name in a conversation with Boston. You shouldn't be telling Boston about our problems. I was like, what problems do you have outside of the fact that this man doesn't like you? What problems do you have? Please make it make sense. Anyway, the islanders are sort of hanging around the villa. They receive, they pick up they get ready for the night. They pick up their drinks. And as they are sitting down for drinks, Gabby receives a message. Girls, it's time to find out which boy gets your heart pumping and you're downstairs jumping in tonight's sensational performance. And it's like, oh, it's about to be messy. Prepare for your pulses to perk and your hearts to strip a beat. I think they meant to say skip, but anyway. Hashtag strip away your sins. Hashtag lather on the links. And it's like, Links is really promoting this, aren't they? Anyway, so you then have the girls go and sit by the fire pit, because unlike in other countries where you have both sort of guys and girls do the striptease, in Australia, it's always the guys that come out and do the striptease. So first up is Jotham. He came out as a boxer. He really went to town. And he really enjoyed himself. He had an amazing time. The girls had an amazing time. Gabby was really excited. Mia said, I wish it was me. And it's like, oh, poor you. Maybe it will be you once he and Gabby's, break up. Kye was a tradie. He flipped Yana, and I think this is something they've done before, so it wasn't something new to them. And they seem to enjoy that. Connor was a soldier. Really didn't stand out to me as far as I'm concerned. Ross was a farmer. You had poor Boston nearly lost a voice screaming for him. She nearly lost her voice for screaming for him. He went round, and with all he did with Shan was he took the shovel. He had the shovel or a hoe or something, used the handle to hit Shan on the buttocks, and then he finished off with Boston. The moment he lifted Boston up, everybody went quiet. And it's like, even if he doesn't do anything to Boston, the fact that he left it till last and everyone was leaving, their partners till last, that tells you that he likes her more than he likes, Shan. And so for them to say, oh, he's always politically correct, he's always this, that, and that. Even Jotham said it's not right that the girls all kept quiet and behaved awkwardly the moment he picked up Boston. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I think there's a lot of sort of divisions in the villa because of the bombshells. They're intimidated because the girls that have come in are stunning. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that. Mateo, he was Zorro, didn't stick out. Nothing about that stood out. Tamara seemed to enjoy herself, but there was nothing there. Alex was a fireman. Everyone was excited for Alex. He really did an amazing job. He finished off with Shan. Shan enjoyed that. And so it's like it's the double standard. When Ross is doing something, she's upset, but she's okay to receive a lap dance from Alex. Make it make sense. I didn't like it. And even the girls, for them to cheer for that didn't make sense. And then Mick, he was a chef. Mick went to town. He really tried his best. He started off with his partner, obviously. He started off with Mia. She had an amazing time. She really enjoyed herself. And then he finished off with Tamara. Once the guys had finished, the results were announced, and it was revealed that Mia's heart rate was raised by Jotham. She did wish she was him. She was the one being lifted. Kye raised Yana's heart rate. Connor, nobody. Ross raised Boston heart rate, which made sense. And he was surprised that he didn't raise Shana's heart rate. Given how much of a stink she was making, he would have expected the heart rate to be raised by him. Zorro Mateo, nobody's heart rate was raised by him. And it's like, oh, okay. Alex raised Shan's heart rate. which says a lot because she likes Alex more than she's putting on. It seems like she likes him more than she's putting on. Well, he raised 3 girls' heart rates. He raised Gabby, Isabel, and Tamara. And then for Isabel to make such a big stink, her guy started with the jokes. Mick was just following on to what everybody else was saying. And so the audacity to say he's disrespecting my partner, and it's like, you're not the only person who raised their heart rate. You're more upset at the idea that he raised your heart rate, not that, he's calling out your name. You wanted your heart rate to raise for Connor, but you all know there's nothing there with Connor except for security in the villa. So I can't wait for the fallout tomorrow. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 15. Bye everyone.